I'm Larry Kotlikoff. I'm a professor of economics at Boston University, and I'm also author of Jimmy Stewart is Dead. In the Christmas movie, It's a Wonderful Life, this trustworthy banker has a run on the bank, and he's told people who deposited the money that they can get their money back at any time. He absolutely did not have enough money to cover all the possible withdrawals. He was going to go bankrupt. His bank was going to fail. The real underlying story here is one of tension, of anxiety, that we have a financial system that's set up with Jimmy Stewart kind of being involved in what is, in effect, a lie. He's promised to deliver something he can't actually deliver. He cannot pay everybody back if they come and ask for their money all at once. So he's, in effect, sold a fraudulent security. Even Jimmy Stewart, this trustworthy, honest guy, was engaged in a fraud. We need to have a system that doesn't involve people making promises that they cannot keep. The entire subprime financial crisis was really connected to people making fraudulent promises. Somebody would go and try and borrow money to buy a house. The mortgage initiator would lie about their income and also probably lie about the value of the home. So the problem here is not that we had very risky securities, not that people were lending to people that had a very high probability of not repaying. It's that they were told something else. They were told that this person has a high probability of repaying and that there is a lot of collateral there. We had a $2 to $3 trillion subprime market here, and from one minute to the next, the public decided that all 3 trillion of these securities worth of these securities might actually be fraudulent. We've had huge economic devastation from this episode. 15 million people at this point being unemployed, many, many millions of Americans having lost their retirement. I was watching this collapse of our financial system, like sitting there watching the Great Depression unfold. So I'm seeing all these people become unemployed, 400, 500,000 people a month being laid out of work, and trying to understand what really happened here. And why is it that a company like Bear Stearns had a stock value of 57 on one day, a week later it's $2? We don't usually include fraud in our basic models of economics, but I could quickly see that fraud was at the heart of this system. Then it occurred to me that we need to have a system that's safe from fraudsters. Let me explain how limited purpose banking works. Limited purpose banking has two parts. One is you take the banks, the insurance companies, the hedge funds, any of these companies that want to have limited liability, they have to operate as mutual funds. We had a financial earthquake. The mutual fund industry did not collapse. The rest of the traditional banking sector did collapse. The way the current system is set up with all its leverage, when one big financial institution goes bankrupt, another goes bankrupt, and you have basically serial collapse. That doesn't happen with mutual funds because mutual funds don't borrow anything. They're never leveraged. So this is taking the leverage out of the financial intermediary system. The mutual fund can invest your money. It can lose all your money. The investments could turn south, but the mutual fund itself cannot go bankrupt. The other part of limited purpose banking is to have a single federal regulatory authority, which is the Federal Financial Authority, not 115 federal and state agencies that can't shoot straight, but a single agency that has a very limited set of things to do. Verify the securities that are actually being purchased by the mutual funds, making sure that the income on the mortgage applications actually is what people earned, using federal tax return data. Do rating of the securities, appraise the collateral, make sure there was third-party custody of the securities. And they would also disclose fully on the web in real time every detail about these securities. So we would have a transparent, simple, straightforward financial system. A lot of people have said that limited purpose banking is a radical reform. Well, it's not radical. What's radical is maintaining the current financial system that has just led to 15 million people not being able to find jobs, that's destroyed many older people's retirements, that's seen the stock market go from here to half its value. The current system is radical. What I'm proposing, limited purpose banking, is actually safe. The government has taken on bigger and bigger liabilities, obligations to guarantee the deposits and the bonds and the other obligations of these financial companies that engaged in theft. So The government has put itself into a very risky position as well. Tens of trillions of dollars worth of potential liabilities here, which it cannot possibly cover. If there was a run on the bank today, we'd have to have the government print about $6 trillion to cover just the FDIC, the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation's liabilities. And then there'd be a run on the money market accounts. The government would have to come and print another $3 trillion to cover that. Then there'd be a run on cash surrender values of insurance policies. They total another $3 trillion. We're already up to $12 trillion. When the public sees $12 trillion being printed, then we're talking about everybody understanding there's going to be hyperinflation. And then anybody who doesn't run on their bank to get their money out is going to really get hurt, because by the time they get their money out, prices will skyrocket and they'll be left with worthless pieces of paper. The price of buying a hot dog is not $2, but it's $2 million. Your $2 isn't worth much. We have the basis right now for a huge financial run as we speak, because Uncle Sam has become AIG to the power 10. He's committed to providing insurance and guarantees that he can't possibly cover. And that's very dangerous. I hope you'll take a look at my new book, Jimmy Stewart is Dead. It's written for the layman. It's easy to read. I think you'll find it actually a fun read. The goal here is to get everybody in the country to understand that there is a simple solution to how to fix the financial system that very major people in the policy world and the economics world are endorsing now. Try and take a look at the book, and once you've read it, please send it to your members of Congress or to the President. Thanks so much.